What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to another video where today I'm showcasing you some Ultra League Premier Classic battles with this unique team that I encourage you to run. It's been really successful for me. Empoleon double poison. So Empoleon in the lead and you've got your Muck, Alolan Muck. I'm running Poison Jab, Acid Spray, Dark Pulse on mine, and then Crobat in the back. And basically, the strategy behind this team is Empoleon has a lot of great matchups against fire types, against most ground types, pretty good, most steel types. Swampert is a little bit tough for this team, but Empoleon's kind of where you want to see it with shields up. And you see my opponent swapped into Gourgeist there, unique pick. So I'm actually willing to swap into my Muck, shields down, and check this out. Oh my gosh, Fire Blast! Boom! They're Fire Blasting me. I didn't even know at the time that Gourgeist had Fire Blast, so I was caught off guard. But I am just going to farm this thing all the way down. Unfortunately, I know the Swampert has a move, so all this energy is kind of going to go to waste, assuming my opponent's Swampert comes in. Yeah, so they expend their energy here, but that's okay, because I still have my Crobat, and I actually come in with the Crobat because I wanted to debuff something, knowing they were going to switch lock themselves. They weren't going to let their Swampert get farmed. But I actually probably should have come in with the Emp, because the waterfall damage would have been nice. And now it's kind of sketchy, right? Because now I'm going to get Blast Burn here, and I can't let this Typhlosion get to another Blast Burn on my Emp. So I'm actually going for this Hydro to get the last shield, and luckily they barely don't get to the Blast Burn, and I waterfall down the Swampert. That was awfully close. That Typhlosion had to be quite close to its second Blast Burn, but that debuff from the Poison Fang also helped us waterfall down. So yeah, and he knew that we were just about at a Hydro, so he couldn't really let me get off that next Poison Fang, right? I guess maybe he could have, because maybe he could have lived it, and doubling up was his only play at that point. But yeah, awfully close game there. And yeah, the strategy behind this team, Alolan Muck is generally going to be your safe swap if you see a fighter. That Poison Jab damage can add up against fighters, so it might lure them to swap out. You can try and take back switch if you can. And Empoleon I think is a great lead, because not only is it going to hard beat things like Flyers, most of them, fire types. Let me try and fast forward a little. Oh, there we go. Battle starting. But, oh, no Treble Clef. He's a terrific battler. Always topping the leaderboards. If you lure out something with Muck and then like can Acid Spray it and get a farm down with Emp, even if you can't win switch with Muck, that energy you get with Emp with Drill Peck can then threaten those fighters that come back in. So that's why I really like Empoleon as a lead. I've got a good rank 1. You see my Muck is, my Muck's not the best for PvP IVs. You'd rather have one with low attack, I think. And then Crobat, of course, is a Hundo. It's a purified Hundo. Probably should have kept it Shadow, because I think Shadow Crobat's better. But I think I purified it like way back when I wasn't as concerned with PvP IVs. But yeah, we're just going to let Emp go. We got a shield. I'm good with that. I'm going to jab down. I know this is just an Aqua Tail, so no need to shield. Won't do that much. I get the jab down. What's going to come in? It's a Nidoqueen. So this is not ideal. Not ideal. We don't have like a solid answer for this now that Empoleon's gone. I was unable to catch the move, but he's going to throw. I'm going to risk that they're not running Stone Edge. It's very rare. I have been Stone Edged once with this team, but it's rare you see Stone Edge. And he's just going Poison Fangs at this point, and I'm just like, man, I might need this Crobat for whatever's in back, so maybe I got to start shielding it. And he's just staying in. Oh, gosh. And I know this Poison Fang probably won't even KO, so I'm kind of kicking myself. I should have thrown it earlier. And yeah, look at that. Didn't even KO. Now I have to shield. And what's going to come in? It's a Toxicroak. It's a Toxicroak. And I know this comes down to just landing this big move. And Nope, gets shielded. But as you see, if I had baited with Poison Fang, I don't think I was going to get there. And in the moment when I was streaming these battles, I thought I threw that game because I thought if I Poison Fanged, dipped, and came back in, I would have won. But honestly, the Toxicroak is not threatened by the Muck in the slightest. So the Toxicroak could honestly just counter down or double up on Mud Bombs, and my Crobat was already in Mud Bomb range, so that wasn't really a throw. There's probably some play in there I could have done differently. For example, Poison Fanging the Nidoqueen earlier and then Air Slashing down. I'm going through the gauntlet in these battles. Dilapture, one of the best battlers in the world. Terrific lead for us. In comes Swampert. So we got to be really careful here. Swampert can really wreak havoc against this team. If you don't play it correctly, there's a chance it's just going to run through your entire team. So you got to be really careful with Swamp. I tried to catch an Earthquake, and I know switching into my Crobat with a Swampert with this much energy, I'm pretty much just going to sacrifice my Crobat. Because with that Togekiss, I have two good answers for it. So switch isn't the end-all be-all for me. I've got a Poison Jab user with my Muck, and I've got a Steel type with my Empoleon. So switch, I know I'm not going to be able to win switch here, and I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to let my my Crobat go at this point. And I'm going to wait out my full switch timer. So I'm not switch locked. I know I'm going to be able to Waterfall down before an Earthquake. I can definitely take this. Hydro Cannon, such a good move though. Still does chip. In comes the Typhlosion. And I'm like, what the heck? I keep going for moves and actually sneak in a free Waterfall, which is nice. I shield the Blast Burn. I've got two, so I'm just throwing after one Waterfall, even though theoretically 3 Waterfalls would be correct timing. I don't want to get incinerated down. In comes Togue. I'm going to get off this move, and then I'll switch, and it should be about GG's. Get the last shield. Come in Muck. Go for the Acid Spray right away to debuff this and start doing more damage with my Poison Jabs. Plus, their switch timer is not up yet, so they couldn't clear it right away. And then, yeah, we've got a move loaded. We still got a shield. So our opponent realizes it's over and surrenders the match. GG's. GG, I should say. I saw that as a tweet. We're used to, a lot of us Sylph battlers are used to saying GG's since we play a best of 3. But theoretically, if we're just doing one battle, it's GG. Singular. The Rise character. Rocking the pose. Who's next? Night Howlin'. That's a pretty cool name. Like Night Owl. Night Howlin'. Trevanant. So if you see a Trevanant lead with this team, I go straight into Muck. This way, we see an Empoleon, right? And I might be able to get a shield from this matchup because of my head start. So Hydro Cannon comes through. I can take it. Actually, CMP tied him there. So this Dark Pulse is going to do a little bit less than half. But because the Poison Jabs are adding up over time, 2 Dark Pulses will KO when you combine it with all the Poison Jab damage. So another Dark Pulse coming through, and I actually take Switch back, which is crazy. I take back Switch, my Poison type against the Steel type. This Trevenant does get a big head start on energy, but this is a much better matchup for me, Crobat, rather than the Empoleon. I successfully shield a Shadow Ball, which is great. In comes Gyarados, and this is why having Poison Fang is so nice. Oh my gosh, I just noticed my graphic has Shadow Ball and not Return. And that's because I do change it to Shadow Ball instead of Return. So sorry about that. I'm sure a lot of you have already commented that in the comments. But that's why it says that. Drill Peck coming through. I am undercharging it slightly. And this will let me get a little bit of a farm. I get 2 extra waterfalls. And this will allow me to get to a Drill Peck here. And it will make the farm down a little bit more difficult for our opponent. I'm not sure if they can completely Shadow Claw us down. It'll be close. And look at that. We actually get to another one thanks to our undercharge on the Gyarados. Beautiful switch quickly. I know he's going to get off 2 moves no matter what. I decided to let the first one go. Unfortunately, it was the Shadow Ball, so now we can just go straight Seed Bomb. but I did sneak in an Air Slash there, and I have my Poison Fang loaded, so I just got to undertap this. Undertap, and GG. Crobat flapping away. Look at his menacing face, the bat. Crobat was always one of my favorites as well from the main series and the anime. But yeah, so I know I'm rocking Return. I was kind of rocking Return almost as a troll move. Because I have a Purified Hundo, so I'm like, let's try and see if we can surprise something with Return. But Shadow Ball is definitely the way to go. And also Shadow Crobat, I think, is definitely the way to go if you do have a Shadow. This is just a Purified Hundo I was running for fun. And I think at some point in these battles, you will see it running Shadow Ball. But I know it's starting off with Return. And we're on to the next one. Here we go. Bon. Okay, not a great lead into the Sirfetch'd. Swap Muck. I'm going straight for the Acid Spray here. This will lure him to get out of here more quickly. And here I have to make a call. Is he going to go straight for the big move? Is he going to bait me? I try to call it, and I pay. I pay. He did not bait. He definitely did not bait. I come in with Emp. In comes Magnezone. And I'm like, okay, maybe we still have a chance here. Because for all we know, this could be his hardest counter for Crobat. So if Crobat's avoiding this, maybe we have a chance. I really have no choice but to shield. Because Crobat can't Air Slash this thing down. If I were to, like, let my Empoleon go. At this point, I'm just committing to the 2-shield Empoleon. Hoping I can Waterfall down. Really need this Waterfall down. I get it. What's going to come in? Is it going to be Sirfetch'd? Let's see. We're watching that top right corner. It is the Sirfetch'd. I blind Hydro, which is questionable. Expecting maybe he would try and tank it on something else. And the Sirfetch'd barely gets to a move which I assume is going to be a Brave Bird here. It's going to do so much damage. Brave Bird comes in. In comes Gengar, and unfortunately, this is the game. This is the game where it's the end of the Return Crobat era. It's the end of the Return Crobat era. You see me go immediately after the game. I go and I TM off Return. There it is. Oh my gosh. Can we leave a like for that? That's at the moment, I was probably mad I didn't have Shadow Ball. But that's kind of funny. Like watching back over that. Immediately after I lose, I'm like, if I had Shadow Ball, I win that game. And man, that's tough. That's tough. But the immediate TM is kind of hilarious. Because like I was committed to the Return. I was like, we're going to land a Return. And then as soon as it costed me a game, I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough having fun. Okay, Emp versus Dragonite. I like this lead because you're not really threatened by anything. Even if they Hurricane you, it's not going to KO from like half health. So you're going to get to 2 Drill Pecks here. And I like trying to take shield advantage if I can. If they do have Draco Meteor, then it probably would KO. So Draco is a little scary, but most people don't run that. Hurricane, you see we tank it, it's fine. He makes a nice catch here on Lapras. Nice catch on Lapras. I'm going to go directly into my Muck. We were able to soften it up, which is kind of nice. I'm going to go for a Dark Pulse here because I don't expect to shield. Whenever you run Poison Jab, people are very reluctant to shield anything because they think you're just going to Acid Spray them every time. So you can actually land Dark Pulses when shields are up very often. I get Skull Bashed, and now I'm just going to Acid Spray, which will essentially put it at single stage debuff. And I barely get the Poison Jab down, which is nice. And I'm just getting ready to spray because I'm not sure if Dragonite comes in if I even get to a move. Oh, I actually... Okay. I want to preserve some health here on Crobat, so I shield, and it's a Scizor. I like the spice, and the reason I'm going straight Poison Fang is just to increase my Air Slash damage, right? Like, this is a situation where a more inexperienced battler, they might be like building up to the Shadow Ball to try and bait it, but like there's no point. They still have 2 shields. Your air slashes are chunking against the glassy Pokemon for neutral damage. Just go straight for those Poison Fangs and start doing more fast move damage after these debuffs. So this is a situation where there's no point in building up to the Shadow Ball. Just go straight for the Poison Fang. I know it's resisted. Doesn't matter. Oh, no! No, Chris! Oh, no! I remember this now. Pain. Pain. Oh! Pain. Dragon Breaths are only 1 turn, so they were doing more damage. Their damage was registering before my moves, and I lose the game. Would I have won if I had just stayed in? Let's see. We can rewind a little bit. Going for the Poison Fang here. Sorry. It's tough to tell. It's tough to tell. Okay. I can't do it slow-mo with quick time, but I go for the Poison Fang. Maybe we can pause it. Another jab. So this next Bullet Punch would have KO'd me. How much damage do I take on Emp? I take a little damage on Emp. I don't know if it mattered. I don't know if it mattered. Because hypothetically, if I let Crobat go, I get 1 more Waterfall on Emp, but I also wouldn't have gotten that Air Slash from the Crobat. So I don't think I threw that game. I think that was just a really close game, and maybe if I had played the beginning differently, maybe, I don't know, maybe not letting them catch on their Lapras. Maybe that catch on the Lapras really doomed me. Maybe I should have come out of the Lapras matchup with Muck with stored energy, like Acid Spray, to try to get more farm. But yeah, that was a tough battle, man. Really well played to our opponent. They escaped that narrowly and came out with an impressive win. Tito Quixote, our next opponent. Sylveon, great lead. Our whole team is going to get Sylveon, so this is like one of the best leads we could ask for. I'm expecting him to potentially catch, so I'm like not throwing right away. And look at that. Then he ends up like catching on a Snorlax. I got the refund there, which happens sometimes. I don't know why. And because I've got this, I'm like, I might as well throw this as well. And then I come in with Muck, and I'm just going to jab this thing down. I know I'll have to take 1 move, but that's totally fine with me. I get body slammed. And I'm like, is the Sylveon going to come in against my Muck? No, Swampert comes in. So this is a little bit sketchy, but I think we'll be okay. Because we still have both of our shields. And because he let that Dark Pulse go through, that's really great for us. So I can let this go through. And I know I might live this, so I'm getting ready to undertap. Undertap. I get off this Acid Spray. Are they going to shield this? Or do they know it's a spray? Really nice counting by them. I probably wouldn't have guessed that correctly, to be honest. They immediately swap to clear their debuff. I get off this Hydro. And honestly, with 2 shields and our Crobat still, like, we're in a pretty dominant position. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. I take the Psy Shock. I save shields for my Crobat. I will have to shield this. So this actually made me a little bit worried, because now he just needs to get to 3 Hydro Cannons to win, because 2 Hydro Cannons will KO, and I still have a shield. So I Poison Fang right away, just so I'm doing more fast move damage. He has to shield the Poison Fang, because he's relatively low already. And at this point, I'm just committing straight to fast moves. I'm not going to shield the first one. I know he needs to get to 3. Oh, shields are down, right? So I can just throw this. Yeah, shields are down. Yeah, Poison Fang, GG's. And there we have it. A nice little run there with the Empoleon double poison team. I've been running this team for several days, consistently going positive with it. Some 3-2s, some 4-1s. I'm sure I've had some negative sets as well. But overall, I'm going more positive than negative on average, so it's always a good thing. And we get a little Solosis as a reward. And let's see if we have the Elo climb here in a second. Elo climb, it's a 32, 35. In potentially tomorrow's video, I will give you guys a little teaser. I am at a considerably higher Elo than this. How high? Well, you're going to have to wait and see. But it's pretty high. And I'm excited to show you guys in case something special happens. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but it's possible. So if that does indeed happen, we're fortunate enough. It'll be pretty amazing. Awesome moment to share. But if not, we'll have to push for next time. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. We've also got a spicy Saturday coming in addition to that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, make sure to if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below. All the comments help the YouTube algorithm. And I very much hope to see you in the next one. Peace.